We all know that one person, the one who throws a tantrum in the middle of a gathering, blames everyone else for their problems, or just can't seem to handle their emotions like a grown up. If you've ever wondered why some people act more like children than adults, the answer might be emotional immaturity. In this video, we're going to talk about the 7 most shocking signs of emotional immaturity. You'll learn how to spot these behaviors in the people around you and maybe even in yourself. By the end, you'll have a much better understanding of what emotional maturity really looks like and how to cultivate it in your own life. So, buckle up because we're about to expose the ugly truth about emotional immaturity. This isn't your average self-help advice. It's a raw, unfiltered look at the behaviors of emotionally immature. So, let's get started. Before we jump into the science, let's make sure we're on the same page about what emotional maturity actually is. In simple terms, it's the ability to understand, manage, and appropriately express your feelings. Emotionally mature people are self-aware. They can recognize their emotions, reflect on where they come from, and choose how to respond to them. They also have empathy, the capacity to put themselves in someone else's shoes and consider how their actions affect others. Emotional maturity isn't about suppressing your feelings or never getting upset. It's about learning to handle your emotions in a healthy, constructive way. Mature people can feel their feelings fully, but they don't let those feelings control them or hurt the people around them. On the flip side, emotional immaturity is characterized by an inability to regulate emotions, take responsibilities for your actions, and consider the needs of others. Immature people tend to be ruled by their feelings, blame others, and struggle with things like compromise and cooperation. Okay, now that we have solid understanding of what emotional maturity is, let's dive into the 7 key signs of emotional immaturity. These are the behaviors that will help you spot an emotionally immature person a mile away. Let's look at number 1, which is difficulty controlling emotions. One of the hallmarks of emotional immaturity is a lack of emotional control. Immature people tend to have big dramatic reactions to everyday situations. They might yell, cry, or even have a full-blown tantrums when they don't get their way or something upsets them. Rather than staying calm and rational, they let their emotions spiral out of control. They may also have a hard time suiting themselves when they're upset and will often try to get others to comfort them instead. And the number 2 is blaming others. Another common sign of emotional immaturity is the inability to take responsibility for your own mistakes and shortcomings. Immature people are masters at shifting the blame. If something goes wrong, they'll always find someone else to point the finger at. They see themselves as the eternal victim, never the one who made the mistake. Admitting fault is a huge blow to their ego, so they'd rather lash out and point fingers than own up to their own actions. Number 3, constant need for attention and validation. Emotionally immature people have a deep, unquenchable need for attention and validation from others. They might fish for compliments, get upset if they don't get enough likes on social media, or monopolize conversations to make it all about themselves. This need for attention stems from a lack of self-worth and insecurity. Immature people don't have a strong sense of self, so they're constantly looking to others to tell them they're special, talented, or worthy of love. Number 4 is hypersensitivity to criticism. For the emotionally immature, any kind of constructive criticism or feedback is interpreted as a personal attack. They have a hard time separating their self-worth from their action. So they take it as a blow to their ego rather than trying to learn and grow from the feedback. They'll get defensive, make excuses, or lash out at the person giving the criticism. They simply can't handle the idea that they might need to improve in some ways. The fifth one is unstable relationships. Due to their self-centeredness, inability to manage conflict, and dramatic emotional reactions, emotionally immature people often have a hard time maintaining healthy, stable relationships. They may drop from one romantic partner to the next or constantly fight with their friends and family. Compromise, empathy, and consideration for others' needs are just too difficult for the emotionally immature to sustain. The sixth one is struggle with compromise and cooperation. Speaking of compromise, this is another major weakness for the emotionally immature. They have a hard time seeing things from someone else's perspective or working together towards a common goal. Immature people insist on getting their way and can't handle collaborative situations. They may refuse to budge on their position or completely shut down and withdrawn when asked to cooperate. The idea of meeting in the middle is often too much for them to handle. And the seventh one is lack of empathy. One of the most telling signs of emotionally immature is a lack of empathy. Emotionally immature people can't put themselves in someone else's shoes and genuinely try to understand how they're feeling. Immature individuals are often self-absorbed and oblivious to the needs and feelings of those around them. They have trouble relating to others and providing support when it's needed. There you have it, the 7 shocking signs of emotional immaturity. By now, you should have a much clearer understanding of what emotional maturity really looks like and how to spot those immature behaviors in the people around you. We all have room for growth when it comes to emotional maturity, because even the most self-aware, empathetic people can slip into immature patterns at times. The key is being willing to recognize those behaviors, take responsibilities, and make an effort to improve. If you've identified some emotionally immature tendencies in yourself or someone you know, don't worry. With self-reflection, empathy building, and a commitment to personal growth, it is possible to develop greater emotional maturity over time. It's not always easy, but it's an incredibly worthwhile journey. So, keep your eyes peeled for those 7 signs and don't be afraid to have some tough conversations or set healthy boundaries when necessary. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, like, and share to your friends because you never know who might need it. And also, you can check out the playlist linked to the video for more personal growth tips. See you in my next one.